so softly back in place. Afternoon light on my face, low bass moving half awake. Quiet shift the daylight makes, warm mid-tone a little slow, like a tide that doesn't show. Lilted strings and softened lines drift across my mind. Screen glows dimmer than before, air feels heavier than the door. Slow mid-range, unhurried sound keeps my focus loosely bound. Breath goes deeper, almost still, calm enough to simply feel. No sharp edges in the air, just a quiet there. Back at the desk, slow and wide, mild drowsiness at my side, flowing low, then easing down, like the sun above the town. Nothing urgent, nothing tight, just a soft returning light, warm and hazy, clear and true. I ease back through. Keys respond without a rush, thoughts arrive in softened hush. Light bass tracing gentle arcs, like slow flickers in the dark. Not fully asleep, not fully bright, somewhere in between the light. Smooth phrasing, low and calm, resting in my palm. No big surge to break the flow, let the quiet rhythm grow. Even tone and steady air carry me from there. Back at the desk, slow and wide, mild drowsiness at my side, flowing low, then easing down, like the sun above the town. Nothing urgent, nothing tight, just a soft returning light, warm and hazy, clear and true. I ease back through. Gradually the focus grows, like a window slowly closed. Warm, sustained and grounded sound pulls my attention back around. No resistance left to fight, just a softer kind of might. Calm and steady, slightly slow, letting energy show. Lute strings and low refrain drift like light against the pane. Smooth and quiet, how I say I'm back in the day. Back at the desk, calm and near, afternoon settling here. Slow mid-range and gentle fall, ease returning to it all. Warm and balanced, slow and true, that's the way I move through.
Light bends softly on the wall, shadows barely move at all. Minimal pulse under skin, afternoon settling in. Airy tone, almost a sigh, clouded edges in the sky. Electric tones in silver lines, the corners of my mind. Screen glow fading into white. Thoughts feel slower than the light. Narrow melody, low and near. Like a whisper I can hear. Breath falls long and delicate. Energy not gone, just late. Soft sustaining quiet waves carries through the haze. Drifting in the afternoon, floating under a quiet moon. Even though the sun is high, there's a softness in my eyes. Nothing urgent pulling me, just a gentle gravity. Light haze wrapped in air. Almost there. Soft pads stretching wide and thin, like a breeze against my skin. Minimal rhythm barely there. Holds the moment in the air. Coffee cup half left behind. Slow motion in my mind. Breathy phrasing low and free. Move so lazily. No sharp rise or no demand. Time slips loosely through my hand. Floating lines that rise then fall. Touch the edge of it all. Drifting in the afternoon, floating under a quiet moon. Even though the sun is high, there's a softness in my eyes. Nothing urgent pulling me, just a gentle gravity. Light haze wrapped in air. Almost there. Blink once, blink again. Clarity returns in thin. Warm, sustained, but slightly slow. Like a tide that doesn't show. Not asleep and not awake. Just a pause I gently take. Headed voice and softened view. Carry me through. Silver tones and open sky. Let the drowsy minutes slide. Breath and sound in narrow frame. Stay the same. Drifting in the afternoon. Soft and weightless in this room. Floating lines and easy sight. Light haze passing by. Heavy, gentle, low and true. Awake soon enough to move.
Curtains barely move at all. Light rests softly on the wall. Subtle groove beneath the air keeps the silence there. Low relaxed tone close and near. Nothing sharp is lit in here. Keys responding quiet waves, like the shape the afternoon gave. Ambient layers thin and wide, hold a slower run gentle rise, then settling down, softest motion in the room. Breath moves steady, unforced flow, energy just slightly low. No big rush to push ahead, calm instead. Low sun in a quiet room, working slow and muted bloom. Rise and fall in easy line, let the drifting thoughts align. Nothing urgent left to chase, just a softer working pace. Warm and steady, low and true. Comfort moving through. Screen light faint against my eyes, lest it sounds and distant sighs. Subtle groove beneath the frame keeps the rhythm tame. Not too tired, not too fast. Let the quiet moment last. Close mic warmth and steady breath guide me left and next. No distraction in the sound, only balance I have found. Gentle contour in my mind leaves the rush behind. Low sun in a quiet room, working slow and muted bloom. Rise and fall in easy line, let the drifting thoughts align. Nothing urgent left to chase, just a softer working pace. Warm and steady, low and true. Comfort moving through. Time feels wide and loosely held, edges soften, nothing swelled. Warm, sustained and grounded tone makes this steady space my own. No extremes to rearrange, no dramatic need for change. Low, relaxed delivery moves so naturally. Ambient hush and distant hum, afternoon has just begun. Steady breath and softened view carry me through. Low sun in a quiet room, gentle rise and soft resume. Working slow but moving on in a calm that feels long. Warm and balanced, clear and true. That's the way I move. Ooh.
Light spills over paper lines, quiet gold across the blinds. Hair moves slow, almost unseen. Afternoon in between. Soft warm voice, slow and clear. Nothing sharp is resting here. Set the strings and tender sway. Trace the middle of the day, like keys shimmer thin and wide, like a tide that shifts inside. Even flow from note to note, floating where the hours float. Breath settles without a sound, calm is easily found. No sharp edges left to prove, just a steady groove. Sunlight on the desk again, warmth across my hands and pen. Even lines that drift and fall, nothing pressing me at all. Lullaby litter, soft and true. Afternoon and quiet hue, calm mood, settling slow. Let it glow. Header layer colors stretch and fade, soft reflections gently laid to the rhythm under thought. Everything feels lightly caught, no big shift and no demand, just the daylight on my hand. Smooth articulation stays through these hazy rays. No distraction pulling through, only what I need to do. Even contour in my mind leaves the rush behind. Sunlight on the desk again, warmth across my hands and pen. Even lines that drift and fall, nothing pressing me at all. Love planet is soft and true. Afternoon in quiet hue, calm mood, settling slow. Let it glow. Let it glow. Time feels gentle, loosely framed, nothing urgent to be named. Soft, sustaining, grounded tone make this steady space my own. No extremes to rearrange, no dramatic need for change. Warm and quiet, clear and free, that's enough for me. Fitted strings and airy sound, keep the subtle calm around. Smooth and steady how I say I'm here to stay. Sunlight on the desk so light, holding warmth in open sight. Even flow and soften view, carry me the afternoon through. Soft and warm, low and true, calm in everything I do. Let it glow.
Screen glow resting on my hands. Quiet hum the room understands. Soft beat moving low and deep. Afternoon begins to sleep. Warm mid-tone, steady and slow. Thoughts don't rush, they gently go. Electric tones and faded lines drift along the edge of mine. Fingers pressed but not too fast. Let each moment gently pass. Moderate fall in every phrase, like the weight of midday haze. Breath is long, unforced and wide. A little tired, still inside. No sharp climb and no demand, just a calm I understand. Typing slow and soft and light, not fully low, not fully bright. Downward lines that ease and bend, like a thought that doesn't end. Lax focus, warm and true, doing only what I need to do. Soft, sustain and steady pace, afternoon in place. Bass moves under quiet air, keeps the subtle rhythm there. Letters forming one by one, nothing urgent left undone. Eyes grow heavy for a beat, still the pattern feels complete. Even pacing in the tone makes this steady drift my own. No resistance in the flow, energy just running low, but it's enough to carry through everything I have to do. Typing slow and soft and light, not fully low, not fully bright. Downward lines that ease and bend, like a thought that doesn't end. Relax, focus, warm and true, sustained and grounded sound keeps attention loosely bound. Not asleep and not awake, just a softer route I take. Balanced mood and lowered tone, working on my own. Electric waves and muted beat, moving quiet, repeat. Relax, pacing, calm and low. Let the afternoon flow. Tapping slow and soft and light, carrying the day in sight. Downward phrases, steady and true, got me gently through. Warm and quiet, clear and free, that's enough for me.
Earphones settle into place, room fades into softer space. Light percussion far away marks the middle of the day. Light mid-voice, airy and thin, floating quietly within. Soft keys tracing narrow lines, looping through my mind. Pad expands like distant air, wraps around the quiet there. Repetition, calm and slow, like a steady undertow. No sharp edges in the tone, just a space to call my own. Controlled phrasing, low and clear, keeps the outside faintly near. Between the sounds I drift, small repeating phrases lift. Nothing loud and nothing bright, just a hush behind the light. Air inside a simple groove, carrying me as I move. Calm in every subtle cue, soft and true. Keyboard tapping far away, blends into the layered sway. Lytic steps across the floor, feel distant, nothing more. Gentle pulses under skin, keep the quiet folded in. Even contour slight and free, breathing easily. No distraction breaks the line, everything is by design. Every tone with softened view lets the silence move through. Between the sounds I drift, small repeating phrases lift. Nothing loud and nothing bright, just a hush behind the light. Air inside a simple groove, carrying me as I move. Calm in every subtle cue, soft and true. Eyes half lowered, mind awake. Every note a small escape. Light mid-tone and steady breath guide the space that's left. Nothing urgent in the air, just a rhythm resting there. Controlled and lightly worn, till the next idea is born. Soft keys shimmer, fade, return. Pad beneath them slowly burn. Measured voice and muted beat make the circle complete. Between the sounds I stay, let the quiet shape the day. Repetition, calm and slow, in a private undertow. Weller lines and steady view carry everything I do.
Elbow on a wooden desk, light tilts in, subdued and soft. Minimal pulse under breath, nothing urgent coming next. Chin in hand, I watch the screen, letters forming in between. Clean, relaxed tone, low and near, keeps the scattered edges clear. Tilted strings in soft and sway, trace the outline of the day. slow mid-range, unhurried line, falling gently into time. No sharp climb and no demand, just a steady open span, low tension in the way I move, carried by the groove, leaning into quiet air, midday softness everywhere, downward curves that ease and bend, like a thought without an end. Nothing loud and nothing tight, just a softened kind of light, warm and simple, clear and true. I move through. Oh, cursor blinking, calm and slow. Ideas rise and then let go. Minimal beat beneath the sound keeps the focus loosely bound. Eyes grow distant for a while, half a breath, a faint smile, gentle fall inside the tone, makes the moment feel my own. Breath aligned with steady ground, no resistance to be found, even patience soft and free flows naturally, leaning into quiet air, midday softness everywhere, downward curves that ease and bend, like a thought without an end. Nothing loud and nothing tight, just a softened kind of light, warm and simple, clear and true. I move through. Ooh, gradually the rhythm stays, guiding me through slower ways. Clean, sustained and grounded sound keeps attention loosely bound. Not asleep and not in rush, just a calm beneath the hush, relaxing lightly worn till the next idea is born. Use its strings in distant hum, let the softer moments come, low tension in every phrase, holds the haze, leaning into quiet space, finding balance in this place, slow mid-range and steady view, carry what I need to do, warm and quiet, calm and true, that's enough to see me through. Ooh.
Light spreads thin across the floor, edges softer than before, low bass breathing under air, quiet warmth is everywhere. Warm, airy tone, barely there, drifts like dust in golden air, electric tones and silver lines trace those circles through my mind. Curtains move in silent waves, time feels wide, unhurried, brave. Smooth rise carried in my chest, nothing more, nothing less. Balanced, calm and gentle shades, subtle phrasing, soft and clear, keeps the stillness near. Floating in the room of light, even heart and steady sight, slowly rising softly down like a halo over town. Nothing pressing, nothing loud, just a warmth without a crowd. to end. Soft bass under every line keeps the moment well aligned. Hands rest lightly on the desk, no demand and no request. Gentle sustain in the sound keeps the balance found. No extremes in how I feel, only something calm and real. Measure breath and soften view, let the silence move through. Floating in the room of light, even heart and steady sight. Slowly rising softly down like a halo over town. Nothing pressing, nothing loud, just a warmth without a crowd. Air and tone and quiet hue carry through. Shadows stretch and slowly lean across the quiet in between. Warm, sustained and grounded tone makes this open space my own. Not asleep and not in haste, just a softness I can taste. Balance calm in every line settles over time. Silver tones and open air leave a gentle imprint there. Breathe the edges low and true, guide the view. Ooh, floating in the light I stay, held inside the quiet day. Smooth ascent and tender fall, nothing heavy after all. Warm and airy, clear and true, that's enough to move me through.
Low hum underneath the air, curtain shift without a care. Light rhythm barely there, keeps the silence fair. Low warm tone, close and slow, thoughts in simple ebb and flow. Keys descend in narrow lines, measured over time. Ambient layers thin and wide, hold a quiet undertide. Even movement, small and short, nothing more. Breath aligned with subtle beat, calm returning to my feet. No sharp turns and no display, just a steady way. Steady in the light I stay, quiet rhythm guides the day. Even lines that move and blend, without rush from start to end. Nothing heavy on my mind, only balance I can find. Warm and grounded, clear and true, carrying through. Screen glows soft against the wall, shadows rise and slowly fall. Light productivity moves so easily. Low dial ever in my tone makes this steady space my own. Stepwise flow but never strained, gently maintained. No extremes to rearrange, no dramatic need for change. Close my calm in every phrase, keeps the haze quiet rhythm guides the day. Even lines that move and blend without rush from start to end. Nothing heavy on my mind, only balance I can find. Warm and grounded, clear and true, carrying through. Time unfolds without demand. Work is simple in my hand. Low sustained and measured sound keeps the center found. Nothing forced and nothing loud. No need to stand out in a crowd. Quiet steadiness inside, like a tide. Ambient tone and softened beat keep the pattern light and neat. Calm phrasing, low and free, moves through me. Steady in the light and air, nothing more and nothing rare. Even flow and soften view guide the work I need to do. Warm and steady, clear and true, that's enough to carry true. That's enough to carry through.
Light rests quietly on the desk. Air moves slow, almost weightless. Subtle groove beneath the day keeps the noise away. Clear soft tone, low and true, carries what I need to do. Heated strings in steady sway guide the hours in their way. Moderatorized and settling down like a breath without a sound. Nothing urgent in my hands, only quiet plans. No sharp turn to pull me through, no bright surge to break the view. Understated how I sing, just the smallest lift I bring. Holding the pace, slow and wide, gentle stability inside. Rise and resolve and even flow, let the softer rhythm grow. Nothing loud and nothing tight, just a calm that feels right. Clear and steady, soft and true, I move through. Screen light hums a silver tone, making this small space my own. Subtle groove in measured time keeps the work aligned. Leaded layers drift and blend like a circle without end. Clean delivery, low and free, moves naturally. Breath remains both calm and light, no extremes in sight. Even phrasing, quiet and sure, helps the focus endure. Holding the pace, slow and wide, gentle stability inside. Rise and resolve in an even flow, let the softer rhythm grow. Nothing loud and nothing tight, just a calm that feels right. Clear and steady, soft and true, I move through. Time unfolds in softer lines, nothing pressing on my mind. Warm, sustained and grounded tone keeps the steady state my own. No dramatic change to make, Just the next small step I take, balanced mood and lowered view, carry me through. And its strings and distant hum, let the quiet moments come, clean and low in every phrase, through these haze. Holding the pace through the light, stable heart and soft inside. Moderate rise and gentle end, like a calm I can depend. Clear and steady, soft and true, that's enough to carry through.
Chair tilts back, ceiling wide, light drifting from the side, low bass humming under breath. Nothing urgent coming next. Warm mid-tone, a little slow, like a current running low. Use strings and soften lines, blur the edges of my mind. Screen glow fading at the rim, eyes half closed but not asleep. Slow mid-range and easy sway, carrying the day. Breath falls long against my chest, energy in quiet rest. No sharp lift and no demand, just this drift and span. Leaning back and borrowed light, gentle fatigue, soft and slight. Downward curves that rise again, like a slow unspoken refrain. Nothing loud and nothing bright, just a dim and steady sight. Warm and hazy, low and true, I ease through. Desk a blur of muted tone, room feels larger than my own. Light bass trace and steady ground, keeps the stillness loosely bound. Not asleep but not awake, just a softer path I take. Smooth sustain in every phrase, floating through the haze. No resistance in the flow, body moving slower now. Even pacing calm and free, let it be. Leaning back and borrowed light, gentle fatigue, soft and slight. Downward curves that rise again, like a slow unspoken rain. Nothing loud and nothing bright, just a dim and steady sight. Warm and hazy, low and true, I ease through. Gradually I tilt upright, let the focus reignite. Warm, sustained and grounded sound pulls attention back around. No dramatic spark or drive, just enough to feel alive. Low energy but steady too, carrying through. Tattered strings and distant hum, let the softer minutes come. Lags phrasing calm and slow, let the undertow flow. Leaning back and forward now, gentle strength within the brow. Slow mid-range and steady view, got the work I need to do. Warm and quiet, clear and true, that's enough to see me through. Screen glow resting in my eyes, This room is still the daylight size. Minimal pulse under air, nothing urgent anywhere. Warm mid-tone, low and near, thoughts are moving slow but clear. Electric tones in narrow lines, looping softly in my mind. Cursor blinking small and bright, like a lighthouse without night. Even contour calm repeat keeps the quiet heartbeat. Breath measured steady slow, energy in undertow. No sharp climbing, no demand, just this open span. Soft focus in the light, calm haze holding me tight. Repetition low and true, carrying the work I do. Nothing loud and nothing fast, just a rhythm built to last. Warm and close, relaxed and slow, let the steady flow. Ambient layers drift and blend, edges where the moments end. Minimal rhythm underneath moves as quiet relief. Not asleep, just slowed in pace. Time expanding in this space. Close mic warmth in every line keeps the balance mind. No distraction breaks the frame, nothing pressing for a name. Even breathing calm and wide lets the hours slide. Soft focus in the light, calm haze holding me tight. Repetition low and true, carrying the work I do. Nothing loud and nothing fast, just a rhythm built to last. Warm and close, relaxed and slow, let the steady flow. Gradually the clarity grows through the haze, it slowly shows. Warm, sustained and grounded tone makes this steady state my own. No extremes to rearrange, no dramatic need for change. Quiet steadiness in view, carrying through. Waves and softened air keep the muted calm right there. Controlled breath and gentle sound keep me grounded. Soft focus in the glow, even lines that ebb and flow. Calm haze turning into sight, working through the light. Warm and steady, low and true, that's enough to see me through. The keys responding soft to time. Room feels slower than my mind. Low groove tracing quiet air. Nothing pressing anywhere. Warm mid-tone, heavy lidded. Thoughts move calm, not overgiven. Set its strings in faded arcs. dim the brightness of the sparks. Letters form in easy waves, no sharp edges left to brave. Gentle rise, then settling down like a sigh without a sound. Breath slips out and drifts along. Energy is not gone. Low tension in my hands, moving as it stands. Unhurried lines across the screen, somewhere in between. Soft slow down and steady flow. Let the quiet rhythm show. Nothing urgent left to chase, just a softer working pace. Warm and simple, clear and true, I move through. Yeah, bit of him underneath keeps the moment incomplete. Not too sharp and not too bright, just a low and leaning light. Screen glows steady on the wall. Shadows rise and slowly fall. Smooth articulation stays through these hazy ways. No sudden lift to break the tone, no need to overown. Even pacing calm and low, let the undertow. Unhurried lines across the screen, somewhere in between. Soft slow down and steady flow. Let the quiet rhythm show. Nothing urgent left to chase, just a softer working pace. Warm and simple, clear and true, I move through. Gradually the focus bends, then returns and settles in. Warm, sustained and grounded sound keeps attention loosely bound. Not asleep, just moving slow. Let the quieter currents go. Relax and lightly worn till the next idea is born. Set its strings in distant hum. Let the softer moments come. Low tension in every phrase, drifting through the haze. Unhurried lines in steady light, carrying the day in sight. Gentle rise and gentle fall, soft slow down through it all. Warm and steady, clear and true, that's enough to carry through. Sunlight settles on the floor, air feels heavier than before. Low bass breathing under light, everything is quiet, bright. Warm mid-tone, slightly slow, thoughts move where they wanna go. Soft keys falling one by one, like the fading of the sun. Moderate, downward lines descend, find a place where edges end. No sharp spark and no demand, just a loosened hand. Breathe unhurried, barely there, heat suspended in the air. Minimal emphasis and sound keeps the calm around. Warm stillness in the room, soft light in a muted bloom. Downward phrases slow and true, let the steady feeling through. Nothing urgent, nothing loud, just a haze without a cloud. Balance calm and inside my view, carrying through. Ooh, 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 ooh. Curtains glow in amber shade, shadows stretch and slowly fade. Pad expands in gentle waves, like the warmth that daylight gave. Light base tracing simple ground, keeps the softer focus bound. Smooth sustain in every line, leaves the sharper thoughts behind. No extremes to rearrange, no dramatic need for change. Even breathing low and free moves through me. Warm stillness in the room, soft light in a muted bloom. Downward phrases slow and true, let the steady feeling through. Nothing urgent, nothing loud, just a haze without a cloud. Balance calm inside my view, carrying through. Time drifts slow against the wall, nothing pressing me at all. Warm, sustained and grounded tone makes the open space my own. Not asleep and not awake, just a softer route I take. Minimal and steady too, everything in view. Soft keys shimmer, fade, return. Pad beneath them gently burn. Low and faces calm and clear, keeps the silence near. Warm stillness in the light, holding balance, holding sight. Moderate fall and soften hue, guide me gently through. Warm and steady, low and true, that's enough to see me through. Cursor resting, blinking slow. Half a thought I almost know. Soft percussion in the air, loose attention everywhere. Warm mid tone, slightly thin, focus drifting out and in. Electric tones in small repeats, circle under tired beats. Window glow across the screen, not quite sharp, not quite serene. Short phrases rise and fall, barely moving at all. Breath leads more than any plan. Mind slips out then back again. No hard edge to hold me tight, just a softened sight. In between the lines I pause, small distraction without cause. Repetitions low and true, loop the things I need to do. Nothing urgent pulling through, just a moment out of view. Warm and hazy, calm and slow, let it go. Gentle taps beneath the tone, keep the drifting from being gone. Ambient layers thin and wide, hold the quiet at my side. Eyes glance up and back again, hovering between the when. Breath-led phrases soft and plain, like a passing train. No big shift to rearrange, no dramatic spark of change. Unforced words and lowered sound keep me loosely bound. In between the lines I pause, small distraction without cause. Repetitions low and true, loop the things I need to do. Nothing urgent pulling through, just a moment out of view. Warm and hazy, calm and slow, let it go. Ooh. kiss lands back into my waiting hands. Warm, sustained, and grounded tone makes the quiet space my own. Not completely lost in air, just a break from being aware. Mild and steady, clear and true, then I move. Electric shimmer, muted beat, carry softness underneath. Breath and sound in narrow range, hover in the change. In between the lines I stay, till the drift has passed away. Short phrases rise, then end, bring attention back again. Warm and steady,